Europe, the land of castles, kings, and crusades. But hidden deep within its stone walls was another world, one of shadows, screams, and devices so cruel they seemed forged not by man, but by demons. Among these nightmares, none was whispered with more fear than the Iron Coffin. It looked like a sarcophagus, a statue of a saint, or even a holy relic. But when opened, it revealed sharp metal spikes lining its hollow shell. And once a victim was locked inside, the coffin embraced them with cold iron and piercing blades. This was not execution, it was a performance. Victims could be left standing, bleeding slowly, their cries echoing through dungeon halls for hours, sometimes even days. But how did such monstrous inventions find their way into the heart of medieval Europe? To understand the Iron Coffin, we must step back into the age when faith ruled above reason and punishment was a theater of power. In the medieval world, justice was never blind. It was a spectacle designed not only to punish the guilty, but to terrify the masses. Torture devices like the rack, the wheel, and the chair of nails were not hidden in secret chambers. They were displayed in town squares, used during public trials, even showcased as warnings. Fear was as powerful a weapon as the sword. The Iron Coffin, sometimes called the Iron Maiden, became the darkest symbol of this philosophy. Its design was deceptive. From the outside, it resembled a coffin shaped like a human body, often adorned with painted eyes, a carved mouth, even religious inscriptions. To the faithful, it seemed like a shrine, but inside, it was hell itself. Spikes lined the interior, positioned not to kill instantly, but to pierce the flesh in calculated places. When the doors were shut, the victim was held upright, bleeding slowly, but kept alive as long as possible. Some historians argue that the Iron Coffin was used as a tool of theater. A criminal, heretic, or political enemy would be locked inside, not simply to die, but to be displayed, their muffled screams echoing like a warning to all who watched. And in an age where the church and monarchs ruled with fear, such devices were more than punishment. They were messages carved in iron, obedience or agony. End quote. Imagine being led into a dim stone chamber, torches flickering against the cold walls, the sound of iron hinges groaning in the shadows. Before you stands the Iron Coffin, tall, human-shaped, its face painted with a cruel grin. The victim is forced inside. At first, the spikes press lightly against the skin, a warning of what is to come. Then, with a heavy slam, the doors close. Iron bites into flesh, piercing shoulders, thighs, arms, and even the chest. But these spikes are not meant to kill instantly. They are placed to avoid vital organs, ensuring the prisoner stays alive. Every shallow breath drives the body deeper into pain. Blood trickles down, pooling at the feet as muffled screams echo from within the coffin. In some accounts, the Iron Coffin was placed in public squares. The victim, sealed inside, became a living warning. Crowds gathered to hear the faint cries, to witness the cruelty of justice. For hours, sometimes even days, the victim lingered between life and death. Historians describe these devices not only as instruments of punishment, but of humiliation. The victim could not fight, could not resist, could only wait, knowing that every moment was a step closer to the inevitable. To the rulers of the time, this was power. To the people watching, it was a reminder. The law was not mercy, it was iron. As centuries passed, the Iron Coffin became more than just a device of punishment. It became a symbol of fear, an image burned into the imagination of Europe. Some historians argue that it was rarely used, more legend than reality. Others claim it was indeed employed, hidden away in dungeons and castles, where the cries of the condemned were swallowed by stone walls. What is certain is the story it left behind. Even whispers of the coffin were enough to terrify prisoners. Its spiked doors represented the merciless face of medieval justice, a justice that valued terror over truth, spectacle over mercy. Today, replicas of iron coffins stand in museums, silent and cold. Tourists look upon them with horror, unable to imagine the suffering they once promised. But for the people of the Middle Ages, this was no museum piece. It was a nightmare given form, proof that rulers held not only power over life and death, but over the very fear of dying. And so the Iron Coffin remains, a haunting reminder that in the shadows of history, cruelty was not just an act, it was an art.